Well, folks, it's the Relationship Builders Customize Your Love Life series.
Bobby, enjoy chilling in the ride.
Okay.
We have to put that out that we're chilling in the ride. We're not chilling home. We're chilling with us in the ride.
Okay.
So you'd say we're talking today about wish list, right?
Yeah, for your ideal person, like your ideal mate. What are you looking for in the ideal mate? So, what are you
I
looking
think
for?
one of the things that we have to, people, I think in general got to be clear about is, do you think that some of the things that your list that you don't have to, it's not a must, you can do without? You know what I mean? Do you think you're putting the emphasis on things that's not really of importance at the end of the day? Because if you're truly looking for somebody to be with, then what is it that you think that stops you? Do you think that your list is too outrageous? Or do you think we spend a lot of time on things that are not important and that stop us from what we want?
Well, I assume that if someone puts something on their list, they think it's important. It's something that they want in a person. I guess the thing is that...
But it could be something in a moment because people all constantly revise it, right?
In the moment, when they're doing their list, I truly believe they believe that is something they want. And it doesn't mean that it isn't something you want. But maybe over time, if you notice that it's becoming really hard to meet that type of person, maybe you want to revise. Maybe every now and then you want to say, is this important? Is it important that he drives a Mercedes Benz? Is it important that he works as, the VP of a major, corporate company or things like that? What things are important when you're looking for your ideal person? You want to maybe pay attention to, I always say, look at inner qualities. What things are going to, this is what I say. Pay attention to how a person makes you feel. There doesn't have to be specific criteria, but as you're dating, pay attention to how that person makes you feel. Ultimately, that's what's going to matter, right? He can be tall, dark, and handsome, and, nothing's wrong with that. But if he's tall, dark, and handsome, but he makes you feel like crap, or you feel crappy when you're around him, then is he really the guy you want to date? And same for the guys. If you have a girl and she's got to be hot and tall and blonde or whatever, but she's she treats you like garbage, or she just kind of uses you for whatever you can give her, is that the girl that you really want to date? Right? So what is necessary and what's not, right? What's important? So
I think we live in a society where the saying that goes, seeing is believing, right?
Okay.
People don't believe anything until they see it. So therefore, sometimes when you're talking about inequalities, those are things that people don't see. Those are things, for the most part, you feel. Right. So therefore, people are not gonna, go with somebody initially because, maybe say them and that person have things in common, or when they're around each other, they laugh and they're good. But then, when they look at everything in that they see, the visual of that person, it changes the aspect. It's like that show called Catfish. All the people that are on Catfish, when you get to see them now, then you can understand why those people hide behind the camera and tell lies and put pictures of people that are more visually desirable,
right,
than somebody that's pretty much kind of off. So when it comes down to it, yeah, visual plays a big role in today's society. And it sucks that it do, but it is, and people won't talk to you if there's nothing about you, like you don't look like a model or look like the hottest guy or girl on the planet. The only time people actually look at you if they know that you're famous, or they see that you have something of important, like you walk into a Bentley, or you walk into a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, then that ordinary guy's become, oh, he's hot, you know what I mean? And it's just sucks that we live in a society where vanity makes the person, right? The car makes the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could be a person with the weakest game, the most unattractive person on the planet, and as long as you have something that draw the attention of people,
to that person,
that is like I said, a flashy sports car or a high-end luxury car, people look at you different. And so when we talk about the inner qualities, in some way to certain people it's like a joke, right? And it's sad, and it shouldn't be a joke. It should be something that taken seriously, but a lot of people see it as a joke. I'm not going to be with somebody because she's a nice person. I want to be with her because she's hot, so I can take her out in public and my friends can see her and I can feel like a god. You know what I mean? But like again, like Jared has said, if the girl is just taking you for a joke and just walking all over you, then eventually,
it's tiring.
It gets tiring. You know what I mean? Either you yourself get tiring, and then all the hardy looks and the thing that doesn't matter anymore, right? So at the end of the day, your list, if your list is keeping you single, you need to throw that list away or revise that list.
Definitely a revision
Because,
is required. Yes.
If you're at this enormous list with so many things on it, and you're single, then you really need to really either look about cutting a lot of fat off that list, or really take some time and revise that list. Go out and date people, and don't lead with the list.
Right.
Talk to that person, get a sense for them, and then see where it goes, instead of saying, oh, well, he doesn't do this on my list, because sometimes the list can be misleading.
Well, the thing about it is that I know that when I created my list of what I wanted in the ideal guy, you end up matching it, which was great, but I didn't go out thinking about my list. I just kind of, like I said, happened to meet you, right by where I lived, and it was just, I happened to meet you and was starting to get to know you, and I didn't know for a while that you were those components on my list, but I knew that being with you was easy. I enjoyed your company, and just wanted to get to know you better. So sometimes it's just a matter of getting to know someone, right? Don't close the door on someone you don't know. Be open to possibilities and see. If you're talking to someone, they don't make you feel good, you don't want to continue to see them. If you enjoy their company, continue to build that relationship and see where it goes. You're not obligated. If you go on a date with someone, you're not obligated to marry this person. Just kind of see where it goes, right? So don't close the door on any possibilities. Don't, just lead with, being really superficial or anything like that. Just kind of pay attention to, who's willing to talk to you, who you can be open to, and just see where things go. The possibilities are endless, but sometimes we're looking for particular things, and then we close the door on, maybe a guy who's perfect, who could be great to you, but you're not open because he's not driving the fancy car, or he doesn't look the part, right? So, just see and be casual and nice to everyone.
You gotta understand thing too, right? No, especially now, and for more mature kind of people, when they're successful, you won't know. Like a guy who's successful and is comfortable with it, you won't see him, driving, like wearing the most hottest, latest fashion design clothes and all of that. Because from a person who's successful and they had to work their way up, and they didn't get a windfall, or win the lottery or something, they're a lot more disciplined, and they carry themselves differently. They don't have that jewelry and, just out there. It's a little bit more subtlety. The only thing that can give it away for a lot of successful people is the cars. Some people say, what, I don't spend a lot of money on clothes, but when it's about my car or my automobile, I go all out. And they have all $100,000, $90,000 car, but at the same time, they're not really just out there with it. So, it's not about the flash sometimes, right? Because the flash is just, some attention to drag you into sometimes smoky mirrors, right? So before you start going out and making your list be, the thing that determines whether you date somebody or whether you go out with somebody, sometimes, like I said, your list can be misleading, and sometimes the person that sometimes we end up with sometimes is not always 100% the list. You know what I mean?
Just be open, right? So just be open to the possibilities and see what happens, right? So anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in to the Relationship Builder today. And
on the road, in the ride.
Yes, and again, this is another part of the Customize Your Love Life series, and we look forward to speaking with you again soon. relationshipbuilder.com. Visit us there.
And what they can do there?
Visit us there, and if they want to leave any here, they can drop a line or leave any comments or questions, right? So, Again, thank you, folks, and we'll talk to you again soon.